Hey, what up, folks? Welcome to Miss P's Film Review again, and I'm here with another retrospective review. I love doing these reviews, especially ones of films that have passed. And I'm here to talk about a film that was released in 1999, and it stars two comedic icons, both of whom appeared on Saturday Night Live, have never appeared on screen together, but they did in this film, and they formed a phenomenal partnership, and it was done to great effect. And I'm talking about the hilarious Bowfinger, which was released in 1999, directed by Frank Oz, and it was written by and stars Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy. It stars Heather Graham, Robert Downey Jr., Jamie Gennety, Terrence Stamp. Bowfinger tells the story of a down-and-out film producer, Bobby Bowfinger, brilliantly played by Steve Martin, who has aspirations of hitting the big time. And when he receives a script called Chubby Rain from his colleague, he sees the potential in it. And he bluffs his way into a restaurant and meets up with a top Hollywood film producer, Jerry Renfro, played by Robert Downey Jr. Renfro agrees to finance the project unless he can get the #1 Hollywood action star, Kit Ramsey, brilliantly played by Eddie Murphy, to star in it. When Kit Ramsey refuses to star in the film, Bowfinger comes up with a brilliant plan to make the film and film Kit Ramsey without his knowledge, along with a small crew and $2,184, because according to him, that's how much a film costs when you're working in Hollywood. This film is as silly as it is hilarious. On paper, it shouldn't work, but it does. This film, like I said, was written by Steve Martin, and this film is as zany and as brilliant as anything that Steve Martin has ever done before. Again, remember, Steve Martin, this is the guy that gave us The Man with Two Brains, The Jerk, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. He is known for zany comedy. And again, this film was released in 1999. And when there were actors like Mike Myers who were coming up, who were bringing out the films like Austin Powers, Steve Martin showed him that, you know what, I can still go toe-to-toe with the best of them. And this is some of his best work today. This film is a brilliant satire on Hollywood. It is a satire on celebrity and just the whole movie making experience. This film has some of the funniest one-liners and comedic moments I've ever seen put to film. And the two leads, Eddie Murphy and Steve Martin, these two, they are at their absolute best, comedy-wise and action-wise. And it's a shame because since then they haven't done anything as good, but they work brilliantly together. And the one-liners and the satire, it just comes thick and fast, and it is done to brilliant effect. And also the supporting cast, Heather Graham as the aspiring actress, and how she goes about trying to get to the top in Hollywood was just so funny. And this has got Steve Martin's thumb all over it in terms of his brand of humor. And one of my funniest moments in this film, and one of my favorite scenes in this film, was where they're filming Kit Ramsey going into a restaurant, and one of the aspiring actors from Steve Martin's camp stops him and he says, "Hey, Keith Kincaid, stop, don't play dumb, where's the plutonium?" And then Kit Ramsey responds, "Hey, listen, that plutonium is mine, it's been registered to be used for religious purposes." And the aspiring actor steps out of character and goes, "What, you actually have some plutonium?" And everybody else goes and goes, "What, you've got plutonium?" And I thought, that is just typical Steve Martin. And I was just on the floor in stitches and fits, and I just found it hilarious. And everybody in this film has their moment to shine. Jamie Kennedy, Christine Brinkley, everybody in this film who participates in this film does a brilliant job. And even Terrence Stamp, he delivers a real deadpan delivery in terms of the confidant of Eddie Murphy's character. Because this film, it just spoofs and parodies a lot of things. There's an organization that Kit Ramsey, whose paranoid belongs to, and it's called Mindhead. But everybody says in the film, you know, this is just a piss take of Scientology. And when you see it, you can see where they're getting it from. But this film just works so well, and Steve Martin was just on top comedic form. He was at his absolute zany best. And I loved every moment of it. And even Eddie Murphy, greatest comedy actor of all time, greatest stand-up comedian of all time, he's up there. That is some of his best work. And again, like I said, 20 years on, they haven't done anything as good since. But I hope that he does. But Bowfinger, one of my favourite comedies. Silly, but it's funny and it works. So if you've got 90 minutes to spare and you're not afraid of laughing, check this one out. You'll be surprised. And for me, this film I find to be far superior and far better than another one of Eddie Murphy's comedy efforts. Because again, in that same year, he did a film called Life with Martin Lawrence. And I didn't find Life as enjoyable. Purely because I think it had so many comedic stars, so many icons that it kind of like buckled under the weight of its own celebrity, and it didn't work as well as it should have. But Bowfinger does. So I'll give Bowfinger a very, very strong 8 out of 10. So there you are. That's my retrospective review of Bowfinger. Subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment with what is your favourite Eddie Murphy film or favourite Steve Martin film. And I'll be back next time with a 30-year retrospective review of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So I'm still going to be coming with those reviews. Make sure you subscribe. Take care, and I shall see you soon.